Big news about the Indian captaincy revealed yesterday. Let's talk all about that here at Timeout with SportsAdda. Arun, social media has been buzzing since yesterday evening. Indian cricket and captaincy issues have suddenly taken a new meaning altogether.
There can never be a quiet day in Indian cricket, can there?
Hmm.
So much. I mean, this was expected. What we're talking about now was expected. Honestly, uh, when Virat decided to give up the T20 captaincy, you knew this was coming. Uh, yeah. So the news is that Virat is being replaced by Rohit Sharma as Indian captain, as India's white ball captain.
Yes, there was also the announcement of the test team for South Africa. But obviously, with everything, the theories floating around, the different versions of stories coming around, and without any clarification, official clarification from the BCCI that the change was happening, the announcement only saying Rohit Sharma is the new captain, but there was no clarification given to why it's happening or why what Virat Kohli stand on it was. So too much speculation happening, so many theories here. Um, as a cricket fan, there will be obviously two versions to it, right? Arun, there will be the Viratians and there will be the anti-Viratians who will have a theory saying that sad wait for a successful ODI captain to go. That will be the theory of a lot of people. Where do you stand?
Like I mentioned earlier, Akhil, I saw this coming, and Virat honestly left no option with his selectors but to replace him the minute he decided to step down from T20 captaincy. I mentioned this in one of our shows. I thought that was a bit strange. I could understand if Virat gave up captaincy of RCB, but why give
Yeah.
up captaincy of the Indian T20 side? India played 10, 12 T20Is in a year. That's not too demanding, honestly. Yes, 2 months of IPL can be demanding, can be tiring, but why give up 10 days of India's T20I captaincy? So that move was a little bit surprising, and I think to put it point blank, I think Virat's kind of paid the price for that now, losing the ODI captaincy as well. Look, there's absolutely nothing wrong with Virat, the captain. Fabulous numbers uh, in terms of captaincy record, fabulous numbers as batsman. If anything, he's not won an ICC title, and that will always remain a black mark against his name. Uh, but yeah, I mean, this is always coming.
Interesting also now that the World Cup, the ODI World Cup, is almost 2 years away. And if you look at it, the number of ODIs that India will also play this year will not be too high. So there's hardly any time left for a new captain also to take charge. Even though Rohit Sharma is not really a new captain per se, he's quite experienced. He's been a part of the leadership group. He's led the team also on many occasions. So it's not really a new challenge for him. What will be interesting to see, Arun, now is how Virat adapts to this as a batsman. That's going to be the most fascinating one for me. Uh, his stature as a ODI player, his stature as a international T20 player is unmatched. I mean, with any discussions that come there, he's probably India's best ODI white ball player. And there might be discussions from MS fans and from Tendulkar fans and from Rohit fans, but that is a stature that Kohli has achieved in the career that he has. What will be interesting is now how he adapts to this change in fortunes, because clearly this is not a move which must have gone well with him. He's a proud man. He wears his heart on the sleeve. He's very emotional. So I'm sure this must have hurt him a little bit. So how he reacts to as a batsman will be very, very interesting to watch.
You being a little bit harsh, Akhil. When you said India's best batsman, I think the best limited overs
In
batsman in the
white ball.
world right now. Best
Oh
limited overs
yeah,
batsman in the world.
yeah,
I mean, the problem with us cricket fans is we kind of mix personalities.
correct.
There's captaincy, there's batsman. We try and mix those, but that's not how it should be. No question marks whatsoever about Virat the batsman. Uh, there shouldn't be question marks like I mentioned about Virat the captain as well, except the ICC title. But yeah, the most interesting thing is how Rohit, Virat, and Rahul Dravid and the support staff will now manage these tricky situations. There will be egos at play, and there should be. For a player of Virat's
Yeah.
stature, it will hurt that he did not go on his own terms. Uh, yeah, but in a way, I see things positively always, and I think this could just be good for Virat Kohli. It could just spur him to perform better as a batsman, even better.
Even better is dangerous for opposing team, and that's always good for India. Uh, but what do you make of all these theories which are going around, Arun? Everybody is jumping up to their own conclusions. Not everybody has access to uh, what actually transpired, and nobody will even know because there's not going to be any official release about what transpired. There are theories which said that there were 2 days given to Virat to make up his mind, etc., etc. But I mean, all this rubbish. I mean, all the conversation, all these theories going around obviously are not going to affect Rohit and the team setup because they are in their own bubble. But these kind of theories are not really nice to even listen to or read on social media, right? Even for us cricket fans, we just want to have some clarity, somebody from the board and coming and explaining the situation. Having a press conference where Rohit is introduced to everyone as an Indian ODI captain. He takes his questions. We actually know what is the theory that he has going for the next 2 years. What does he have in mind as a structure? Obviously, you can't say everything, but some clarity in the thought process or why this happened, right?
There's no explanation. There's no questions asked. In both cases, Akhil, in both cases, the media have not had the opportunity to ask questions, rightfully so. Right? There are good decisions which we appreciate on social media, right? And there are
Yeah.
decisions you want clarity on, and you don't have a platform to ask clarity, right? And this is one of those situations. I've been reading a lot, since this announcement happened last night, and in the last couple of days, in last week or so, there were always whispers. If you followed the right people, and you know who I'm referring to, if you followed the right people who are mouthpieces to those powers that be, there were
Yeah.
leaks that Virat had been given an ultimatum of sorts that he saw Virat Kohli might announce captaincy, might kind of give up captaincy. Now, if you've decided your mind, you bloody well front up to India's biggest cricket consumer, which is the public, me, you, billions of fans, and answer it, right?
Hmm.
That's the disappointing bit for me. And the most disappointing bit is you've got a former India captain sitting in the hottest seat there. I mean, huge respect to Saurav Ganguly, but why isn't he fronting up? Why isn't he putting in place systems where he explains stuff or the chairman of selectors explains stuff, right? I mean, really disappointing. On the other side, you look at Cricket Australia. I mean, I'm so fond of Cricket Australia system. They have a former captain in place, and every press release, right, you will see an explanation. You speak to players, players will say, I got a call from Bales this morning, or I got a call from the chairman of selectors, personally saying, we've chosen you, we've dropped you, we've decided not to pick you. Why is that not happening? Where is the accountability?
Agreed. And I mean, Rohit Sharma also has a lot on his hands now, Arun. I mean, while everybody has been talking
Before
about
you
the
get there, Akhil, sorry, just one other
yeah.
point. I mean, I'm actually fuming, and the reason I'm fuming is you brought up Rohit's name. What's the vision? What's the vision of the Indian selectors? Right? It's not like Rohit's 28 or 29, you've made him captain like Virat was. Rohit's 33, 34, right? By the time the next World Cup comes about, he's going to be 36, 37. Is that the
Correct.
vision? Do you want a 36-year-old to lead India in the World Cup? If fair enough, if you've given him that statement, have you appointed him until the next World Cup? Clarify that to us. Where is that? I mean, where is the clarity? What's the selector thinking about? What is Rohit Sharma taking up this job for? Like, what has he been told? Rohit, are you captain for the next 2 years? Are you captain for this series alone? It's all speculation. And then there will be leaks. There will be a mouthpiece saying Rohit's been made captain for the next 2 years. If you're leaking stuff, make it damn official.
Well said, well said. A lot of points there, which a lot of cricket fans will be feeling. Uh, might be just expressing it on Twitter right now because there is no other medium where we can express them. So we as cricket fans have that right, and we are doing that on Twitter. But look at it from a Rohit's point of view, Arun. You put it very rightly. He's 34 now. Uh, we know he has a hectic 2 months, 3 months of the IPL where he's had so much success. He's so integral to this franchisee plans. He is definitely those tournaments are something he cannot miss at all because he is so core to that team there. How is he going to phase it now? Because he cannot play all three formats all the time. It's going to be virtually impossible for him to keep playing each tournament with the same kind of intensity. Uh, we know that Virat himself has been cooked over the last 5 years, captaining all sides, batting at number three, doing all the press conferences, doing his own personal sponsor stuff, which is also very tiring and it's not so easy considering the time commitments that he would have had to give. So it's not so simple. Also, that Rohit can just become captain and handle all these things smoothly. Eventually, he will also have to look at it from his mind space, right? He cannot just turn up and like play every game now. He also has to be mindful. So that is going to be also interesting to watch. And I'd love to hear from him about how he plans to do this. Because in the next 6 months, there is still a lot of white ball cricket leading up to the T20 World Cup for India.
I mean, India play a lot of cricket. Let me just put it in one statement. Okay, that's also a problem. India play a lot of cricket. Now, how Rohit addresses the problem with Rohit as well, and I say it's not a problem. The worry with Rohit is he's not the fittest. Let's admit it. He's not the fittest cricketer, right? So Virat being the fittest cricketer also struggled. And they were. It's really difficult to motivate yourself to get up every single day, train, do press conferences, go play, practice, travel, flights, different hotel bed every second night. So it's going to be a huge challenge,
And
and
these
I wouldn't be
bubbles.
surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if Rohit kind of now decides to pick and choose series like Virat did. There's also a small matter, Akhil. I mean, having mentioned, there's also a small matter of contracts. You know, I don't know, grade A, grade B, A plus, all that's going to has to be reworked now.
Going to be interesting because obviously with with this kind of cricket that is lined up in the next 6 8 months leading up to October, they will definitely have to manage his time the workload that he puts in. We can't have a Rohit Sharma being tired and like entering the T20 World Cup having played a lot of games before that, and then we don't know about his injury status. If you remember, just last year before going to Australia, there was so much turmoil over Rohit's injury status. There was one statement coming in saying that he's unfit. There is one statement he's missing the IPL games, but he's still showing up at practice sessions. So it's going to be very tricky, and I'll be very interested to see how they manage that. Uh, Hopefully, there will be a small meeting, and all three of them, or the two captains and Rahul Dravid will have a conversation. They are clear on what they want to achieve, so it will be a smooth transition.
Yes, it will be. But having said that, I'm not a big fan of split captaincy, Akhil. And I'll tell you why. Split captaincy might work for England, might work for Australia, might work for South Africa, might work for New Zealand, any other country. It won't work for
Yeah.
India because, in India, the captain's a personality, a mega personality, right? You cannot have two massive personalities within one dressing room. Virat Kohli has his space around in the Indian dressing room. Now, will he be able to share that same space with Rohit Sharma come the white ball formats? I don't know. It's going to be really interesting to see.
Okay, we'll watch, and we'll keep chatting about how this progresses here at Timeout with SportsAdda. What we'd love to know is your opinions, your thoughts, people who listen in. Share with us what are your thoughts, Rohit Sharma, Virat Kohli, captaincy issues, who can be the vice captain for the ODI team is going to be a big question. Rishabh Pant, KL Rahul, hearing a lot of names there. So please write into us, comments. Please write to us on Twitter also. We are quite active there. Would love to hear more thoughts. And we'll be back here at Time Out with Sports Adda to discuss this and more of the cricket. Thank you so much.